How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I just wanted to address this question. I get it so much and it's asked so frequently from you guys, whether it's in the comment section or you guys send me a DM on my Instagram. It's whether or not the 350Z is a good daily driver. So I made a list of reasons why I think it is a good daily driver and why I don't think it might be for everybody. And I just wanted to go over these key points with you guys, and hopefully the video helps determine if the 350Z is the right car for you. So with all that said, let's get into the first reason why I think the 350Z is a great car. It's the storage space, guys. So honestly, with the 350Z, a lot of you guys might assume that there's not a lot of storage space because it's such a tight sports car, only 2 seats, but actually that's what makes it so accessible. There's cubbies every single place you look. There's cubbies in the door cards on the side. There is cubbies right in front of you for storage space. Even like if you pull the seats up, like all of your storage space is behind you. There's like 4 or 5 cubbies back there, and you can fit so many small items. And the 350Z is actually really accessible, and it has a lot more space than you guys think. But I have to emphasize small items, right? You can't really carry big things, right? So if you're trying to move like furniture or a TV, you cannot fit that in the car. I mean, maybe you can finesse it, and the trunk space in the back is pretty big, but there is a strut tower bar back there, and it prevents you from fitting bigger items back there. So with all that said, if you guys will need a car to fit bigger items in, the 350Z unfortunately is not for you. But if you guys just have like phones and wallets and paperwork and stuff, it's the perfect car. So the second reason I want to go into whether or not the 350Z is a good daily driver is the MPG, the miles per gallon, guys. So I emphasize this car, if you like step on the gas and you just gas the car, drive it fast, your MPG is going to go way down. It's going to be absolutely terrible. If you guys can find it within yourself to try not to press down on the gas pedal too much and try to be more conservative with the MPG, actually in the city and the highway, I average 18 in the city, and I average 25 miles per gallon on the highway, guys. So it is actually a really good car when it comes to miles per gallon. Thus being a sports car, it's pretty impressive. It's not going to give you 50 miles per gallon. It's not a Toyota Prius, but for a true sports car that you drive every day, 18, 25, those are really good numbers to base off, guys. So yeah, just try to prevent yourself, try to hold back as much as you can if you have to daily drive one of these cars, because actually you do get pretty good gas mileage. So everyone, if you're not too worried about MPG, this is the next thing I want to mention, having to do with if the car is a good daily driver or not, is just the fun factor in the car. So since I personally drive this car every day, I'm going to tell you guys first and foremost, like, I have so much fun in this car. You can slide these things, you can drift them, you can do burnouts. If you have a manual car, you can downshift. These cars are such a blast to drive. There is a lot of power for this chassis. It's more of a lightweight chassis car, so the power is really, really good for this type of car, and it handles amazing. It's just such a well-rounded, well-balanced like sports car. And honestly, like, every time I get in this car, even when I'm having like a really bad day, I can't keep a smile off my face, because this car is just a blast to drive. End of story. No ifs, ands, or buts. So if you do plan on getting a 350Z, because the fun factor, definitely it's there, it's very high, and I promise you guys, driving this car every day, it's just gonna be smiles all day, every day. So something else I want to mention, guys, is just the interior quality. This is one of the weaker points in the 350Z, and you guys might be asking, how does this relate to driving the car every day? Well, let me just explain. The 350Z isn't filled with suede and plush leather and Alcantara, all of that stuff. It's really filled, like 99% of the car is hard plastic, believe it or not, guys. And the plastic over time, like, this car is almost 20 years old. The plastic tends to like fade, it cracks, cracks. You can scratch it very easily. And if you do get one of these cars and you do drive it every day, you guys will experience it firsthand. You know, if you have like long fingernails or something, like, and you touch the plastic, it'll like scratch the paint right off. And honestly, it kind of sucks, and eventually you're gonna have to get the interior repainted, and probably you're gonna have to get new seats. Some of the 350Zs came with leather seats, but the leather isn't too good and it cracks, which sucks. But yeah, those are just things to look out for, and those are just, you know, things to think about before buying this car and driving it every day. The interior quality is not the best, and I do have to warn you guys that firsthand. So if you guys don't care too much about the interior, and you just need a cool, fun sports car to drive every day, this 350Z is amazing, and it probably is one of the best cars to fit those needs. But there is one thing: if you guys plan on commuting with this car, long distances, like over an hour commute, I highly recommend getting a 350Z with cruise control. My personal Z does have cruise control. Some of them don't, some of them do. It just depends how your Z is spec'd out. But mine does, and I just had to take like a hour-long road trip to visit some family. To and from, it was like 2 hours. So I'm so thankful that I had cruise control. It definitely saved my leg from like going numb and cramping up, just being on the gas pedal the whole entire car ride. So if you guys plan on commuting far for work, for school, for whatever reason you guys have, definitely get a 350Z with cruise control. But if you guys are just going to be, you know, taking the car out on the weekend, just going to car shows and stuff, you don't need that. Just don't even worry. Also, another thing is what makes these cars so accessible to use is not only do they come in a manual, which they're a little bit more harder to find, but they do come in a 6-speed manual. They come in a 5-speed automatic. So if you guys do, you live in a big city and there's a lot of stop and go traffic, I highly recommend just getting the automatic. But if you guys have like open back roads and, you know, there's not too many people in your city, definitely go with the manual transmission. It is such a blast to drive. But also, I highly recommend an automatic if you guys live in like New York or, you know, big cities, big areas with a lot of stop and go traffic. Don't get the manual, just get the automatic. But that just is another key reason why the 350Z is so versatile, is because it comes with 2 different types of transmissions. And one of my last reasons I just want to talk to you guys about, if you are in the market for one of these, is just the ride height. These cars are very, very low from factory. They're not slammed, but they are lower than most economy cars, right? So if you guys, you know, there's a big incline or there's a huge dip, or even if you have to go over speed bumps, you guys need to be very cautious of this car. It is a lot lower, and you will mess up your front bumper if you don't take these inclines, declines the correct way. So I highly recommend just kind of like practicing in a 350Z or a lowered car if you can, because definitely there's going to be a lot of situations that you're in where you're going to have to maneuver over this, and also because the car is so low, the camber tends to wear the tires out prematurely. So in a regular car, you get brand new tires, they could last 3 to 5 years, right? In the Z, they don't last that long. They last like 1 to 2 years max, right? I just bought my Z like literally 2 months ago, and the previous owner just put a fresh set of tires on the car. So with 2 months of driving just front and back to work, I don't really drive long distances too much. The tire tread is really starting to show wear, which is kind of unfortunate, but it just comes with daily driving a 350Z. The camber will wear out the tire tread, so just be aware of that, guys. So to sum up the video, just let me know what you guys think of the video. If anything I mentioned helps you and will help you, you know, determine if you want to buy a 350Z, if it's the right car for you, or if you're totally wrong. And hopefully this video brought some light and shed some light on the fact that it might not be the right car for everybody. But with all that said, guys, just leave a comment below what part you enjoyed about the video, what part you learned, and maybe, you know, if I missed anything, just let me know. But with all that said, guys, I helped, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. So with all that said, peace.